All right, hey, it's Mike Belfour, and I'm here with one of my best friends in the industry, someone I consider like your brother, trains jiu-jitsu, literally someone I know, I think for like 10 years back in the climb real estate days. But my good friend, Jerry Beverly, who's with Compass. How are you doing today, Jerry?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, Mike.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I'm just impressed with your growth over these years. I mean, just to see that is someone that like I said, consider like family, man. It's just been incredible. But you've built a reputation of a master of social media and Instagram. So how did you first lean into that program to build that? What were you thinking? What was the game plan behind what you're doing with a lot of your outreach with social media?
Social media. I think that was the first class that actually started posting homes on social media in
Yeah,
2015.
yeah,
So it just originally started with showcasing houses, right? Let's
yeah,
put a drone up, let's show the rooms. And then from there, what I noticed is that it became a business card for me. The
yeah.
more content I put out, the more people noticed me. And then I started noticing that agents noticed, and that's how the referrals started. So it
Wow,
all came from just showcasing homes, and then from there it's just, hey, let's show people what I do.
love it.
And then being top of mind is how
Yes.
I look at it now. A little bit different. It's long form, it's clipping, it's showing people more of who I am,
Yeah,
not the made up videos as much.
yeah.
So that's what I'm doing now, and trying to monetize on different platforms.
So I guess that goes to the next question then. Like, what types of content do you find resonate most with your audience in the East Bay right now? Like what's that thing, if you will?
You know what? I've actually been putting content about what it's like to buy property overseas, and that's been helping people a lot. In
I've
the
been
East Bay,
watching
I
those
think
in
the
the
top
Philippines, right? Because you're just there.
in the Philippines.
Yeah, how
Yeah,
was
yeah,
that,
like
man?
that resonates with people a whole lot. I think that I'm gonna dive into that a little bit more. But
Okay,
to answer your question, I want to say East Bay. It's more just home tours.
okay,
A lot of younger guys are killing it with the home tours, just
yeah.
going and showcasing homes. I think that's what people like, but also people like to hear how much it costs to buy a home. That if you're at 400,000, you're putting 20% down. What's the mortgage going to be? What's your
Yep.
taxes and insurance going to be? So that always going to resonate with people, and I think that resonates with people when I'm talking about buying overseas as well.
Well, that's the biggest thing I noticed with you as well, because I follow your story feeds. I remember, gosh, I was in Orlando. We had a transaction, you and I together, and we had to get this thing signed and closed, if you recall. And I remember your Instagram story. I see you every morning at 6 a.m. at the gym, train
Mhm.
jiu-jitsu. We're at the gym lifting and working out, and you're going to sign with these buyers, right? And they're selling one
Yeah.
property with you as well. And I remember the comment was, birds are chirping at 6 a.m. Somebody's up, and then you're going to a signing. And it was funny because that was what, 2017 or 18. But
Yeah.
I guess the question is, how do you balance that sort of just who's you, man? I mean, who you are, right? The personal Jerry Beverly and
hmm
professional. How do you keep it authentic?
How do you think? You know what? I don't know how not to be authentic.
Yeah.
And for me, it's my life. What I put on social media is my life. You don't really get a different person from the person that you see online. I'm still waking up early. I'm still working out. I'm still going to do what I have to do for my clients. In that case, they needed to wake up at 6 a.m. to sign, so I was there for them at 6 a.m. to sign.
No.
The workout time is just Jerry's time to gather my thoughts, think about what I have to do for the day, for the week, and then go out and just execute.
That's awesome, man. And then I guess what's the strategy though with that execution from turning your followers and things like that into, buyers or sellers? Do you have a strategy that's been working for you?
The strategy is to stay consistent.
Yeah.
That's the strategy.
Okay.
I think if you try to lean into, okay, this worked this time, let me try to do that. I think that if I can focus on always having content there,
Yeah.
then that is my strategy. As long as I'm top of mind, as long as people are going to my socials and seeing what I do, and if I go and see people in public and they're referring to what my socials are saying, then I'm doing it right.
So and one thing I love about you and you're old school, because I used to do this too, by the way, and a lot of people don't know that as a lender, I used to stroll around with people and I always offered the opportunity to, go out with you as well, but door knocking,
hmm
off of
hmm
social media. You're not only just hiding behind your cram and social media, but you're actually, as we say, pounding pavement. You're out there meeting with people. You're out there shaking hands, and it's been a winning strategy. So, I mean, I guess what's made it a winning strategy for you? Kind of what do you do? What's your opening line? Kind of, can you describe that for me a little bit?
Okay. No, it starts with consistency again.
Yeah.
It's always consistency, doing the same thing over and over again, hitting your head. But to get into the nitty gritty, what I do is I pull notice of defaults with my business partner. She has always done. door knocking with notice of default. So we teamed up to do it together. She pulls a list, I drive, and we find people who haven't been paying their mortgage, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to have a property profile from Property Radar. That's the software I use. And then we're going to have
Right.
a letter from Compass, the brokerage that I work for. And it kind of lays out how we can help. And then it has their personal information on the property profile. But the opening line is always, hi, I'm a real estate agent. I'm introducing myself to neighbors in the area, but I do specialize in helping homeowners in certain situations.
Okay.
And then from there, it opens up the conversation. I never
Nice.
go and say, hey, look, you're foreclosing, you need help. Right? Like they've heard that, and I've done it enough. I know what to say to get cussed out, and I know what
Yeah.
to say. I know what to say to just have a conversation. So that's the opening line always. Introducing myself, who I am, and what I'm there to do. And
I
then
love
from
it.
there, it's an open conversation, or it's a hey, get out of here, or it's a I leave a note and I get a call.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
love that,
that's
man.
how I approach it.
How do you handle rejection? I mean, do you get rejected a lot out there, or like what's that look like for you and how do you handle that, man?
Oh, L's. Yeah, you got to take L's. You got to look at it. Every L you take, you're closer to a W. Every loss is closer to a win.
Amen.
So I really embrace my L's. I see how they make me feel because sometimes some L's are harder than others, right? You may get cussed out, be called a effer and this and that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, every time that happens, I know I'm clean closer to a listing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's how I look at it. Every time I take an L, it's like, hey, I have to be closer to this W. If I'm looking at the stats, it's about out of 100 doors knocked, you're gonna get one listing. So that one come at the first 100 at the last 100.
Do you
So
enjoy
I
it?
embrace
I
my
mean, do you
L's.
enjoy it? Because you're out there you're meeting with people. I mean, you're a person that I know, like me, man. You love people, right?
Hmm.
And so,
Hmm.
like, is this something that you're like, man, I just love getting out there, shaking hands, and kind of doing that? Is that something that, because you've always been so good at it?
Hmm. I like motion. I like motion, and I like talking to people, and I can't set up a meeting any more efficiently than this.
Yeah,
A phone call is a phone call to create a meeting. A door knock is my first meeting.
right.
So I like that part. I like the fact that I have an idea. I go to a door. I have a meeting. I get a listing agreement. So it's all about the execution for me. Is what I like about it, and helping
Yeah.
people because I think a lot of people in this situation. I've gotten my family's been in this situation so to educate myself and be able to educate the community on this situation,
Yeah.
and how to relieve their stress is really where I get a lot of I say gratitude.
Well, and you love being a blessing to others. I know that you always have that mindset, and it's like, just being a blessing to others, consider others more worthy than yourself. That sort of mindset you've always had, which is why I've personally been always so attracted to working with you, and why I bug you every Monday, man, and why I used to
Mhm.
love to go out and visit your office and check in with you over the years, right, and have lunch and just catch up. It's been such a blessing, man, because of who you are, and you do that so well.
Oh,
Um,
man.
yeah, man. I mean, so I guess the question I have for you is, how would you describe the Oakland market right now? Buyer's market, seller's market, somewhere in between. What are you seeing out there?
I think that this is a great time to buy a home if you are a buyer. I
Yeah.
think that prices are going down. I think we're in the middle of prices going down.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of opportunity. I think that sellers are starting to understand because of days on market and their
Yeah.
expectations that they're going to have to lower their expectations a bit based on our interest rates and our in the current climate of real estate. So I think that if you are a buyer, it's a good time to go out there and negotiate and be willing to tell your agent, like, hey, look, this is the price I want to pay. Let's see if we can get it down because that's where it is. That's where we are in this market.
So, I mean, inventory's been tight the last couple of years, as you know, not enough homes built to meet the demand for housing. Are you seeing that improve then in that market? Like, are you seeing, or is it still a big challenge with inventory?
I think it's still a big challenge. I think it's week by week. Some weeks you'll see a little bit more, a tick up
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
of inventory. In some weeks it's very stagnant. And like I said, I've been looking at a lot of multifamilies, especially in Alameda, and we have about 20 multifamilies that are listed active on the
Wow.
market. So that inventory's there. Definitely a different beast on multifamilies with tenants and insurance. But yeah, though the inventory's there, the rate is still a little bit too high for sellers to understand they need to reduce the price a bit.
So with that, then are you seeing like, rates where they are, are then you seeing those expectations being adjusted from both sides, maybe buyer and seller, or what are you seeing in line with that?
Per- Personally, my sellers are understanding
Okay.
because we're reaching 60 days on market.
Mm.
So personally, yes, we are seeing that. I am seeing a lot of price reductions on the market. So I think sellers are understanding. I think when it hits the news, it tends to resonate with people a little bit more.
Mm.
So I haven't seen that big push yet on the news, but I think when we see that, then they'll understand
I
that
mean,
they're going to have to
yeah, and
adjust.
with that note, I mean, on the news, man, I mean, it usually is after it's already happened.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's like, oh, that was a week ago. And now it's
Hmm.
going the other direction, right? Like with interest
Right,
rates are at 6.5. No, they're not. They're back to seven, 7.25 right now.
right,
And
right.
it's
Yeah.
like, dude, it happened that quick, right?
Hmm.
So that's one thing that I think to manage expectations for people and let people know, hey, this is what we're truly seeing.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
huge, man. I think it's a huge, huge thing to tell people. But the beautiful thing is, if you're doing house hacking, you're buying it as a first-time home buyer. You're buying a 2, 3, 4 unit property.
Hmm.
The rents would then help service that debt. So there are programs for people, with 5% down with conventional
Hmm.
loans, as you know, and then you could also do the debt service ratio loan where if you're putting 20% down as an investor, right? You're just using the rental income of the property to qualify. Are you seeing a lot of people requesting investor loans like the debt service ratio loan or any products like that right now?
I am seeing that, but I think the prices are a little bit too high still
Yeah. That
for
make
it to
that
make sense.
1%. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Even if
Okay.
you are going in at 3.5, 5%, it all depends on what those rents are bringing in. But I think the prices have to come down a little bit more for it to make sense.
Now, with the door knocking that you're doing with these properties, if
Hmm.
they're, they have a or multi-unit property, should I say, with that multi-unit property, are you seeing a good amount of margin for them to actually be able to reduce, or are they restricted with their loan to value?
I think they're a bit restricted right
Yeah.
now,
Okay.
for
So it's hard
sure.
for them to come down a little bit, you think?
Yep.
Okay.
And then here in the Bay Area, with the rent control and the way it is, rents have to make sense for them.
Yeah.
They have to make sense for them, and I think the rents are a little bit too low sometimes for us.
Yeah.
One thing I am seeing, door knocking NODs, and I think that we will see the results from this is that I'm knocking and I'm finding people who bought maybe in 2022,
Yeah.
um, and I'm seeing short sales. And I
Mm,
think that the more short sales and REOs we see,
yeah.
that's going to definitely decrease the prices in the market because when you can do a short sale, you have a comp from a REO in the neighborhood. Now the bank is going to approve your short sale, and we're going to have lower prices in the market. I am
Right.
seeing that.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing is like, man, because like we actually closed two short sales and I'm old school, man. I've been in this 22 years. Hence my receding hairline. I had hair last time I
You
saw
look
you.
good. No, you look good. Look good, man.
But thank you, man. But it's funny because we did a lot of short sales, foreclosures. We had more properties on the market than buyers for a while, so inventory was high. So, and a lot of people were upside down because all those crazy mortgages back in 2005, 2006, right?
Hmm.
We're starting to see more short sales. In fact, we just closed one on a condo in San Pablo. That was a
Really?
short sale. Yeah, and it was a lot faster. Back in 2010, there's so many short sales. It take you 6 to 9, 10 months to get the bank approval. This bank approval
Hmm.
came in 40 days. So it was a
Hmm.
lot faster because they're not flooded with short sales, but we're starting to see people, unfortunately, in that situation.
Yeah.
Short sales is definitely better for anybody listening for your credit than a foreclosure. A foreclosure will hit you for 5, 7 years. There are some programs that could go as short as 4, like an FHA transaction after rebuilding credit, but that's really going to hurt your credit. So if you're going between foreclosure or short sale, you need to talk to somebody like Jerry who could guide you through that, right? Because
Absolutely.
we're starting to see more of that. It's unfortunate because that was a big tip. They're going multiple offers on properties. We saw this huge hyper appreciation. Now we're starting to see the market saturation and market correction that we're
Hmm.
anticipating. So we're starting to see
Yes.
that happen a little bit, right?
Yes.
Um,
Absolutely.
it's
Absolutely.
interesting. It's interesting to hear it's happening out there because Oakland was the number one housing market in the country for like 4 years straight.
Mm. Mm.
And now
Yeah.
it's like Ohio because its properties are affordable in Ohio, right?
Right.
And interest rates are higher. It's hard to fathom paying that 7% mortgage. So
Right.
what are you telling buyers right now, man? I mean, are you telling buyers anything? I mean, what's kind of your pitch to buyers and what are you kind of sharing with them that would work or what would you tell them if they're looking to get started now or later?
I'm telling them this is their time. I'm telling them this is their time, and to be aggressive with what we want
Yeah.
because it's our market. We're looking at homes. I'm telling my buyers to look at homes, and I'm sending them homes that have been sitting for a while that maybe they thought they couldn't afford.
Yeah.
And we're just making sure that we're offering what we feel the market will be. Because
Okay.
I don't want to put them in a situation where we offer what they're asking, and then 6 months from now, prices go down another 4 or 5%.
100%. Yeah, and you don't know. I mean, we're praying that things get worked out with interest rates. We think that there will be a Fed rate cut in September, but what a lot of people don't realize is rates are spiking up right now because they're banking on that and they're already pricing it in. However, the news that we're getting lately is saying, are they really? there's a 90% chance we'll see a Fed rate cut of 1/4%, and then hopefully another quarter or 0.5% before the year gets out. But if rates are where
Mhm.
they are, 7% or so, it's hard for a lot of people to afford that. I mean, we're in California. I mean, we love this state, but there's a lot of things that are pretty expensive in this state. So it's hard to understand the 7% mortgage for a property is a million or 1.5 or higher, right?
Right.
So we're hopeful, but I think in rates probably drop in early next year. Any thoughts on that, man? Do you have an idea in what you've studied in regards to when do you think rates will improve for your buyers?
I'm thinking the first quarter
Yeah,
we should see a bit of a decrease in rates,
yeah,
but I'm telling my buyers when you see that decrease in rates and you hear it on the news that the decrease in rates is going to be an influx of people trying to get into the market,
yeah.
right? So you got to pick your poison. Do you want now, try to get the home you want, higher rate, refinance when that time comes, or do you want to bid? Because I think
100%.
when we bid, it creates more stress and anxiety for buyers, and then they tend to have buyer's remorse.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm coaching my buyers now.
Love it, man. Love it. Love it. Yeah, well, Jerry, I want to say thank you for taking, the 20 minutes or so that we had today. Seriously love you, man, and appreciate every moment we got to hang out. How can people find you online, man? What's the best way to connect with you?
At call Jerry at jerrybeverly.com, or you could always just give me a call.
Yeah, please call. I'm gonna
We'll
leave
do
his
that.
information below. Definitely, if you're near the East Bay, Jerry is your man. Seriously, his market knowledge, especially when it comes to investment properties, multi-units, is better than anybody I've ever worked with in my 22 years. So definitely connect with Jerry. And Jerry, just want to say thank you, man, for your time. I appreciate you more than you know.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Mike. I appreciate you. I
All
really
right,
do.
all right, thanks, man.